We are here at the Rusty's Market and I met two interesting ladies. First of all, I met Minnie here, and Minnie is a very interesting lady, and I met her niece, just also equally as interesting, and they are both here from Trinity Beach, which is one of our favorite beaches. I have been talking to them for a while, and I thought, you know what, they are so incredibly interesting that I would love to share them with you on YouTube. So first of all, this is Minnie. Minnie, you told me about yourself, and if you notice here, this is her niece's, I think, with the Elvis guitar. Is that for Elvis? Your guitar there?
Anybody who likes playing the guitar, I guess.
Anybody that likes a guitar.
Pretty good guitar player, wasn't he?
Yes. And Minnie, tell me about yourself. You were telling me that you were raised in a mission.
Mona, just outside the veranda, 70 miles of Addis veranda. And then we came out in 1956. We lived in veranda, the mum and dad, and the two brothers. But then I went to work down the bottom pub. The first thing they gave me was to go and do the bar. And I don't drink or smoke. So I just said, I'll leave the job. Don't give me another job. But they put me in there like a waitress, and that was lovely. I stayed there for a while. But see, I don't drink or smoke. And I wouldn't like to go back. But I went station. But then, see, can I tell you about my mum now? That's my story, but I like to talk about my mum.
Tell us about your mom.
Well, she was one of the stolen generation. At 7, they got her from Cannibal Creek up to west, Cannibal Creek.
Cannibal Creek's up there.
And they took her to a mission. She had to walk, like 7-year-old girl. And then they sent her from Cooktown on a boat herself down to Cairns herself. And then she had to wait for the missionary to come down from the mission to pick her up. So that the police came and then picked her up from the veranda station. She was put in the way of the watch hours. 7-year-old girl. But it was a sad story. My mum told us to cry. We cried too with her now. And when she went to the mission, well, that's where we were all born, brother too. Only brother and a sister, her mother, Sandra's mother, and my youngest brother, second youngest brother. We were born in Mariba, but we all, the 7 of us others, we're born on the mission, and I've told you it's a church mission.
What were your favorite memories of the mission that you can recall?
Well, I liked it there, but then when they put us in the dormitory, it was good, and sometimes it was bad. But we just had to stay there. They lock us up at 6 o'clock at night and open the door at 6 o'clock in the morning. But we had happy times going to school and all that.
Yes.
But sometimes we cried because we can't go to our mother and father.
Oh.
You know, we only go there Sundays for them.
You were also telling me about you love Elvis Presley and your favorite trip. Could you tell us about your favorite trip to America? Because I'm from America, and I thought that was quite the story. It reminded me of a lady friend of my mother's, Barbie, and she loved Elvis. So tell us a little bit about that.
I read my brother's two children, and Hayley, she said to me, Auntie Min, I'm going to take you for a holiday. And I said to her, and she said, no, Auntie Min, I'm taking you to America, to Graceland. And I said, well, I just cried with joy, and I loved her up. So she took me, and we stayed over there for 3 weeks. We went to Elvis, Graceland, and it was lovely. And I got a photo taken with him. I had to stand there, and I said, where's Elvis' photo? And they said, you just stand there. And when you come out, Elvis was loving me. And I've got a photo of me and Elvis.
That is a great memory. That's really memory.
I got that because I love Elvis. Every time kids buy me stuff, Elvis, towel, with that Elvis name, they buy it.
Wow, you're exactly like my mom's friend. My mom's the same age as you, and her best friend was Barbie, and Barbie Heisen loved Elvis like you, and she talked about Elvis all the time. So you remind me not only of that, but you also remind me of my grandma Chick, because when she was 90, she looked exactly like you, and her hair got whiter. So maybe you're going to have white hair like her.
I was born with white hair.
Yes.
So when it was straight.
Yes.
But you look at it now.
It's pretty. It's very shiny and very pretty. I wanted to meet your niece here for a little bit, and I wanted to ask her also. There's a lot of people and a lot of my friends in America that don't know about the stolen generation. Could you tell us, first of all, about the stolen generation, and then about your shirt that you have on that says "Get up, stand up, and show up"?
Sure. The stolen generations happened in the late 1800s, early 1900s. There was a policy of taking Aboriginal half-caste children away from their parents. So half-caste meaning, one white parent, usually a father, and those children were taken away from their black mothers because it was about trying to breed the race out. It's actually documented about trying to breed the race out, and even though a lot of us got fairer, our people continued. So we've got a saying like that white Australia has a black history. So even regarding all the atrocities that happened to Aboriginal people over the years, we're still here. They poisoned our water holes. They gave our old people blankets riddled with tuberculosis. They poisoned the flour. They shot our people, and they also used to bury the children up to their necks in the ground and then kick their heads off. See who could kick the head of an Aboriginal child off the furthest. So these things aren't known about, and a lot of people in America, when I visited America 20 years ago, people were amazed to know that there were Indigenous peoples living here. So I was able to give them a little bit of that history. And it's very much the same as Native Americans. First, the Aboriginal people of the States, and then our people were taken away as very young children because they were fair. They were put into institutions and forced to grow up on missions or in dormitories, in different places, and so that's a lot of the history of this place. My own grandmother ran away from the black trackers and the white troopers, and she climbed up into a tree. They pulled her out of the tree. They hit her in the face with a rifle, You can always tell her in the photos because she's the one with the busted eye. Her sister tried to run away and she was shot in the hip. So until she died in her late 70s or early 80s, she walked with a very pronounced limp. Their brother was taken away to Palm Island. My grandma was taken to a place called Mona Mission. Her sister was taken to Yarrabah Mission. Very deliberate policy of separating the children so they wouldn't get back together again to run away. Pretty much like the story of the rabbit-proof fence, if you've ever seen that. Go and see it if you haven't. And that's a story that's repeated all over this country. So there became, in the 1930s, there was a guy called William Ferguson who was very forward-thinking, and he actually supported the Jewish people, and he came from Melbourne. He was very much involved in the fight for the rights of Jews, and from out of that, in the 1930s, they said, look, we're really unhappy with the way the government is treating Aboriginal people. So we need to have a day of mourning, a national day of mourning. And while the rest of Australia was, celebrating their day, William Ferguson, actually instigated this other day, this alternate day, which a lot of Aboriginal people still commemorate because it was pretty brave of him to be doing that. He even wrote to the King of England at that time, saying, we don't like the way our people are being treated and we think that things should change. So out of that came the National Aboriginal and Islander Day of Observance. And what they decided was every year there was going to be a theme so that we could work to, working together and fighting together. This T-shirt that I've got on is from 2022, and it says, "Get up, stand up, and show up." So get involved in the processes, not government processes for crying out loud, but get involved in what Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are doing to fight against the atrocities of what's happened to our people over the years. This is to commemorate that. Today, the 3rd of June, is the day that we call it Mabo Day. And Eddie Mabo was a Torres Strait Islander who took the Australian government to court over native title. He said, I've got rights to my country, I can prove where my boundaries are, and out of that he ended up, the native title legislation was born. And from that, it was a very strong piece of legislation the way that they proposed it. Unfortunately, over the years they've weakened that legislation to such a degree that it's weak. It's a weak piece of legislation. Native title has caused a lot of trouble in this country. So, yeah. But I still think we need to stand up. I think we still need to get up. I still think we need to show up.
More to do.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was something I like to spread awareness about through YouTube. Get up, stand up, and show up. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Minnie and Sandra, for taking time out of your schedule today to bring awareness about what's happening. And if you are watching this video, if you could help out and share this far and wide through YouTube and also with your friends. And thank you for watching. And thank you, Minnie, again, and Sandra. I enjoyed our conversation today.
Thank you for yarning with us. It's always good for a yarn.
Thank you.